Welcome, Winnie. How are you?
I am good, Martin. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you too, dude. How was your Christmas?
It was good. It was good.
What did you get up to?
As you normally do, you spend your mornings exchanging pleasantries, and then
Yeah.
you load up on the Christmas lunch,
Yep.
and then everything's a blur from there on.
I know. I know.
And it's built in anticipation for
Yeah.
Boxing Day, for the Boxing Day test, and
Yep.
we all know how that panned out.
Yep.
We'll save that for
Exactly.
later.
We'll get to that. Now, my our Christmas was alright. We wanted it slightly subdued.
Yep.
Obviously, you know what's going on.
Yeah. Nice.
I did a brisket, smoked a brisket.
That's your Christmas special.
That's my Christmas special. I normally do. I smoke a brisket. I didn't want to go overboard, so I just got that done, and then I was looking forward to the Boxing Day test,
which you went to.
Yeah, I did. Obviously, every time we do this. By the way, now kind of religiously. We go for the second day. We don't go for the first day just because it will be mayhem, and so we went for the second day. You were supposed to come, but you had a prior. Unfortunately, you had prior commitments,
last
minute commitments, and so I gave you a ticket off to AK, and so you missed it. You missed the trick, dude.
I did. And to add to yours as well. Your tradition is normally to go on day 2 of the Boxing Day test.
Yeah, that's right.
But this time you can rephrase that, Martin. You can say you went for the final day of the Boxing Day test.
I did. On that absolute lovely note, and by the way, if you're a new viewer to or new viewer to our channel, welcome and thank you very much. This is Borders and Beyond, and if you keep coming back for more, thank you very much. I appreciate you.
Absolutely.
And please give us a thumbs up and subscribe. Help us grow this channel. I'm planning to do a combination of sports, geopolitics, politics, and just general interesting chat with interesting people, and we'll be doing that more often. So that's generally the direction I'm looking at doing. All right, on that lovely note, let's talk about the Ashes. We are going to start off with the Adelaide Test, and then we are coming into the Melbourne Test. So off to you, Vinny. Start off the Adelaide Test for us, mate. What do you think of it? And
let's do a bit of a recap from where we
left
off.
Let's do that. Yep, that'll be good.
It was the Ashes in Australia.
Yep.
Australia won the first test convincingly in Perth, which again was another 2-day.
It was, yes,
right?
Yes.
And then they went to Queensland. They went up to Queensland for the pink ball test, the day-nighter, which Australia, I dare say, won convincingly.
Yep.
And then boiled down to the Adelaide Test, where, look, not trying to sound like a TV campaign, but England had everything. They had to win that test to keep the series alive.
Yep.
Right? Because England, in the wink of an eye, I dare say within 6 days of playing cricket, England were already trailing 2-0. So as we discussed last time, that's already an uphill battle. For them to come back or even stay in contention is... Oh, look, you'd have to put money on Australia at that point. And traditionally, I think no team has ever come back from 2-0, especially in Australia, 2-0 down. So, coming to Adelaide, you had everything to play for. Travis Head, who is from nowhere, is now the designated opener for Australia, his home ground. He's coming in on the back of a whirlwind century in Perth as an opener. We've got some bombshell news. Pat Cummins is ruled out.
Yep.
He's still ruled out.
So was Nathan Lyon, but then that was earlier.
Oh, yeah. No. But I think that the Adelaide... No, Nathan Lyon comes back in Adelaide. Yes.
Oh, he does. Yes, sorry, apologies.
He was ruled out of the pink ball test, which in his words he described as being absolute filthy. To the point where I think in the Adelaide Test, people started referring to him as Phil. That was his new nickname. Short for filthy.
Okay.
In Adelaide, Pat Cummins comes back. And in the morning, morning of the test, Steve Smith is ruled out. So Australia's premier batsman and stand-in captain up until then. And obviously, arguably, the number one test batter, right? Steve Smith. So he's ruled out with a case of vertigo. So suddenly, from nowhere, Usman Khawaja, who up until then was almost, I wouldn't say, you could say his Test career was over, but he was pushed to the back of the pecking order.
Yep.
Because Travis Head and Jake Weatherall was sort of the incumbent openers for them on, and there was no place for Usman Khawaja. But life has a funny way of playing things.
I know.
Suddenly,
He's got life.
12th hour, really, he gets a call up, but this time not as an opener. He's now slotted in at number 4, so Steve Smith's position. But yeah, Usman Khawaja comes in, and Nathan Lyon obviously comes in. Michael Neser unfortunately misses out, and for no fault of his own, he's on the back of a fifer rather at Queensland, his home ground. But just to maintain the balance, he misses out, and Nathan Lyon comes in. And mind you, so this is the home ground for Nathan Lyon. He's got an incredible record in Australia in home conditions, and at the Adelaide Oval is just next level. So now you've got quite a few homeboys. When I say homeboys, I'm talking about the Adelaide boys, South Australian boys. So you've got Travis Head, Jake Weatherall did all his formative years of cricket in South Australia, and then moved to Tassie. You got Alex Carey, who's a homeboy, and then you've got Nathan Lyon as well, who is formerly and famously known one of the groundskeepers really at the Adelaide Oval before he famously made his debut into the Australian cricket team.
Yeah, Alex Carey, I mean, that guy is just talent, isn't he? I mean, like, fair enough. I mean, for those of you from outside the country, during winter we have a sport called AFL, or we call it footy, and he actually is a professional footy player.
Absolutely.
Yep. And
that was his first love.
That was his first love until Kevin Sheedy, master coach, said, "Mate, I think it's time for you to move on," right? And he was with Sydney, I think Giants, was he?
Yep. Gold Coast Giants, yeah.
Yeah, no, sorry, not Sydney, Gold Coast Giants. Yeah, sorry, apologies.
Sorry, not Gold Coast Giants, Greater Western Sydney.
Okay, here we go. Well, I get corrected again. Yeah. Greater Western Sydney. And then anyway, what ends up happening is Kevin Sheedy tells him, "Well, it's time for you to move on, mate. You're not part of the group anymore." And then he decides that, well, I'll go and play cricket, and off you go.
On that note, I listened to a podcast of his. He did play a bit of cricket.
He did, yes.
But he never took it seriously in the sense his first love was always footy.
Yeah.
Right? And his father was instrumental in his sort of formative years, but he went all into footy. He made the start. Well, he made the cut for the GWS Giants as well. And when he tried a couple of games, but then he just couldn't. And when he was cut loose, his world came tumbling down, crumbling down. It took him a while, and cricket was sort of, even then, from what I understand in the way in this podcast, he never considered that being the next sort of option. For that was just his coping mechanism of, I wouldn't say he battled almost borderline depression because he didn't know what to do with his life. He gave up everything for that. So this was almost like his way out, just to sort of break the monotony.
Yeah.
And believe it
or not, now he's part of the Australian team.
He gets his baggy green cap, and now he's the number 1 keeper. Like his performance.
His performance is absolutely insane, right? I mean, we'll talk about his keeping. I'll tell you about what I saw when I went to the G.
Yeah.
I mean, like it's insane. And like I think it just, some people have oozes of talent, right? And this is one of them. It is a situation where he switches codes and he's good at it. And it's very rare. I mean, like I was told that AB de Villiers was going to play tennis, and then decided that he was going to end up playing
hockey, tennis,
and ended up playing cricket. And it's
But that's AB de Villiers was different in the sense, South Africa has a sporting culture, from what I understand as well. They always play all the sports, and then it's just, they're well-rounded. Their sporting culture is a lot bigger. That's not to say Australia's sporting culture isn't, but over here it's one or the other, and winter's predominantly footy.
Footy,
nothing.
yeah.
There's nothing else.
Well,
beyond that.
I'll put it this way for those of you from outside the country. I'll put it this way: the southern states, or actually, apologies, Victoria, South Australia, a little bit of Queensland, and Western Australia play footy. That is AFL, and then New South Wales, again, Queensland, predominantly play, and Canberra and everybody predominantly play NRL, which is rugby league.
Correct.
All right. So both codes are known as footy, depending on the state you are in. Right. So if you're in New South Wales and you say footy, they're thinking NRL, and if you're in Victoria, they'll think AFL. Right. Now,
bit of trivia for you, Martin, and
yeah.
for the viewers. On that note, there was another famous Australian cricketer who famously wanted to play footy, but very early, unlike Carey, very, very early, got told he wasn't good enough, but then went on to play cricket.
If I'm not hazarding I would say, is that Shane Warne?
He was
going to play for St Kilda.
Correct.
His love was to go and play for St Kilda, but he wasn't good enough. He was eating too many pies.
Apparently. And yeah.
So Warney was a St Kilda supporter, and a die-hard St Kilda supporter, and poor guy couldn't make it, couldn't cut it. Anyway, right. Circling back.
Not a bad record to follow up.
No.
Secondary preferred.
That's right. So, all right. Circling back, back to Adelaide. Yeah.
So,
Carey comes in. Yep.
Carey's there. So there's a lot riding. The Australian team is riding on a high.
Yep. They're already 2-0 up.
They're 2-0 up. The English team are in all sorts of trouble.
Yep.
Right? They're putting on a brave face.
Yeah.
But they are under intense scrutiny. Up until then, they have to win this test.
Mm-hmm.
What do they do after Queensland? They take a bit of a break and they go to Noosa for whatever reason. That's in their defense. That's always been on the cards. A bit of R&R. But considering they were 2-0 down leading into this, there was a lot from their own press, admittedly from the English press. There was a lot of scrutiny around what are they going to do, how are they going to come back. They do have a bit of a R&R, and they come back, and here it is. Look, I don't know if it's worth going into this scorecard.
Well, let's not talk of the scorecard. I want to talk about the philosophies, right? So the formula. Okay, so obviously the English team is going on baseball, which is what attack, and no fear kind of cricket.
Yep.
And basically the Australian way of doing it is patience, wear them out.
Look,
I mean, it's a tried and tested line.
Correct.
And we know the condition, we know the place, right?
Absolutely.
So there is, I think, first and foremost, for a team that has never won in Australia for 14 odd years.
15. 1 week shy of 15.
Okay, well, 15 odd years. That kind of arrogance, I think, I don't know where that comes from. I mean, I get it. It's from their coach and things like that. But look, talk to me about it. I mean, why is this philosophy, and why can't they shake it off and say, look, we're playing test cricket. It's not T20. I mean, like, seriously, watching the game at the G and seeing them charge some of these balls, I was like, dude, they ain't T20.
See, you're spot on, Martin. And it's something that has... Look, let's break it down. Baseball in the English team's defense is something that the coach himself hates that term. They never coined it. It was coined by the English press, and that name just stuck, right? I like the philosophy. I like the philosophy where you go in there without, not necessarily fear of repercussion, with the fear, they see themselves as entertainers first before cricketers. You go there and you build, they're filled with self-belief that they can win from anywhere. I like that contest. You never say never until the last ball is bowled.
Can I stop you there?
Yeah.
It's it's good to have confidence, but
Yes.
it's awful to have false confidence.
And
And I think this is false confidence.
and that's where the problem is.
All right, you have not won a thing, right? You haven't really done it well enough, right? To say,
Not, they have won a few games,
okay,
but they
yeah,
have
but
not,
it's
not consistently.
exactly right. It's not like, okay. I'll put it. By the way, a bit of trivia. You talk about the Fleet Street guys, right? Coming up, giving him baseball, right? How do you think the All Blacks name came about?
Not sure actually.
Okay,
Enlighten me.
it was accidental printing. It was supposed to be All Blacks. They were, and he ended up being All
It was a
Blacks.
typo.
It is a typo, right? And was again Fleet Street, right? And that's how the All Blacks all came out. All right. Anyway, that's that. Neither here or there. But what I'm trying to say is, okay, fine, a baseball. It's an easy print, and people can understand it. And at the end of the day, print is all about. Newspaper is all about digesting the news and quickly and things like that. They might not like it. Brendan McCullum might not like it and the team might not like it, but the fact of the matter is, okay, they've considered themselves as entertainers. Good. I like that. But when you play a test, when you say you are considering yourself an entertainer, I expect you to bat for a full session, right? I don't want you charging on the first ball. I don't want you charging on the eighth ball. I want you to play the game for the next 5 days, right? That is what I'm paying to come and see.
Okay.
Right? That is entertainment to me. That's what the 92,000 people at the G were expecting, and that's what.
That's a different. So
Let's park that.
That's
Okay, but
yeah.
that's what I'm expecting, right? And so, if you're going to say you're entertainers, no problems. Entertainment for the whatever the sport is, right? If it's a 5 day, you make sure you entertain them, right? If you're going to play T20, entertain them, no problems. I've got no issues there. Entertain away.
You are absolutely right, and I think that is I wouldn't say concern. I think that's the thing that irks people that aren't on that side, that aren't supporters of England. You're spot on. You entertain. There's different. It's your definition of entertainment. Like you said, good attritional cricket can be entertainment as well, right? To the test purist, just hitting the 2 sixes in an over and then getting bowled out isn't quite entertainment.
No, it's not.
Context, right? But I guess we have to appreciate where this came from. Prior to baseball, or the England team adopting baseball, really, their results were dire. I think they went on a consecutive streak of 14 or 15 tests on a losing streak. On a losing streak of not doing anything, not winning anything when Joe Root was the captain. And that could be a combination of things. So it required, so clearly what they were doing back then, a tried and tested formula wasn't working. And up until, or prior to then as well, English cricket, to all the supporters of English cricket, they weren't playing the most exciting brand of cricket. They were
awful.
Look, it's not like England, Australia and India were probably the only one. Australia, they have a history. India was sort of catching up as well. Beyond that, there weren't a lot of people that were actually challenging the test scene. But I'm trying to think from an England point of view, it was very traditional. I wouldn't say traditional. It was almost, for want of a better word, a negative style of playing. The players looked a bit disjointed. The team looked a bit disjointed. They seemed a bit aloof. There was clearly something that wasn't working. So it required a rebranding. It required a change of philosophy. And I guess that's where Brendan McCullum and Ben Stokes as captain, credit where credit's due, they came in there and they said, look, whatever you've learned up until now, we need to unlearn it. This philosophy, let's not go into results just for now. I guess all I'm trying to do is sort of create for want of a better word, an etymology of where this philosophy came from and why the English press and the English supporters and the English team, English cricket team, bought into it. They needed a complete rebrand. Right? And that's where the concept of played for the reason why you started playing it in the first place?
Mm-hmm.
What was the reason? What attracted you to cricket? The joy of playing cricket,
Mm-hmm.
the joy of coming out there and sort of playing as a band, right?
Mm-hmm.
Playing
Yep.
as a team, right?
Mm-hmm.
We can win from anywhere. We've got
Mm-hmm.
each other's backs. We go there all out attack. There's no concept of defense.
Mm-hmm.
We play attacking cricket. Let's not worry about the results for once. Okay?
Okay.
So that's where it came from. And
Mm-hmm.
Brendan McCullum, that's how he played his cricket, if you ever remember.
Yeah,
And for all the viewers as well. That's not to say he united the New Zealand team. If you remember the 2015 World Cup,
Mm-hmm.
where New Zealand made it all the way to the finals against Australia. There was the World Cup being played in Australia and New Zealand.
Mm-hmm.
They were absolutely cruising it until the final,
Yeah.
where Australia absolutely blew them away. Mitchell Starc had a bumper innings, but I guess that was his fault when he was captain as well. That's something that he used to unite the team. They played with a sense of freedom without the fear of failure. I would almost want to say without the fear of repercussion, right? With the monkey off the back, just go play. And what he did really well was to say, look, the captain and I,
Mm-hmm.
we've got your back. You go ahead and do what you can. Do it.
Enjoy it.
Enjoy it. Do not worry about failing. Do not worry that your position is on the line. So that was a breath of fresh air. And look, and there was a massive fan for it. Almost rejuvenated Test cricket in England.
Yeah.
Now, that was good for a certain amount of time, and which is where your grievance, the majority grievance comes in as well. They took it upon themselves to think that this exciting brand of cricket, it was exciting. As much as I find it infuriating, there is a part of me, and I say this begrudgingly, there is a part of me when it does come off, I just go, wow, what atrocious shots are those? But it does come off. And what they've done really well is they've stuck with the core group they've identified a core group of players, not necessarily with the best Test record, with the best, Sheffield record or domestic record, but who they think will fit into this mold of thinking and provide them with the best form of success.
In a county cricket kind of thing.
Exactly.
You're not talking Sheffield Shield is here.
Yeah, Sheffield is here, from the county domestic cricket.
Yeah.
County cricket, then they're not even looking at that.
Yeah.
That is in their first criteria. They just find someone that they think will fit this mold.
Yeah.
They can succeed. They find that they will buy into this philosophy and they will succeed under this environment.
Mm-hmm.
So Zach Crawley, he's played God knows how many Test matches. He's averaging about 35. Top international cricket, I'm sorry, that is not.
Yeah.
But they still stuck with him.
Yeah.
Your Ben Duckett was discovered, and he had a new lease of life. They identified a spinner, Shoaib Bashir, who can't even find a place in his own county. He was selected in the team based off a Twitter video that Ben Stokes stumbled upon. And he sent it to the coach and said, that's the sort of spinner I want.
Mm-hmm.
And next thing you know, he's got a Test cap and he can't even find a place in his county team. Okay. Right. So that's so there's merits to that side of things. I think where people started questioning it is, yes, when it first came out, it was a breath of fresh air. That's not something that the English viewing had started seeing.
Yeah.
But there's only so much you can tolerate. When you don't have results, when you start losing a lot more than you start winning, then question marks start coming.
Yep.
And all said and done, Brendan McCullum, Ben Stokes, they have on record said all this planning is for the Ashes down here. And look, when they did come here, the Australian team wasn't looking great. Usman Khawaja was struggling. Pat Cummins had been ruled out. Hazelwood had been ruled out.
Yep.
So you would have said this is the best chance for England to
nail it.
I wouldn't say nail it, but this is the best chance to come in and
win
and have a bit of a statement, create a bit of statement. That fizzled out very, very quickly. And I think that's where the problem was. To the point where it's great when you're showing confidence, and it's great that confidence works when you're winning. When you're not, that obviously poses questions.
It does.
To the point where Australia brought back their premier spinner, Nathan Lyon. What does England do? They play Will Jacks, who is predominantly a batter. You can't even call him a part-time. You can't even call him an all-rounder. He's a part-time spinner at best.
Mm-hmm.
They strengthened the batting, and Adelaide Oval has always been known to provide a bit of turn on days 3 and 4. But yeah, that's the sort of thinking they went with. So again, focusing on the batting, all-out attack. Yeah. So I guess that's where I'm trying to tell you. It sounds
great on paper.
Sounds great on paper. That's right. It sounded great for the first couple of months. And then after a while, it seemed like it was a failing formula, if you could even call it a formula.
I mean, I guess in anything in strategy, you have to refine your strategy as it goes along.
And you're spot on.
Yeah. I mean, yes. Okay. I can definitely understand the etymology of you. All right. We need to take it where it was, and we need to bring it out. So I think I can respect that. But then you have to refine and play according to what the conditions are. It's not always all about attack.
Absolutely, and
I think you have to be discerning enough to understand that. It's one thing to play T20 like that because it doesn't matter, because you have to attack from the get-go. But Test is 5 days, dude, and it's 2 innings.
It is, and it's different conditions as well.
And it's different conditions, and it changes as it goes along.
Absolutely, and across the globe as well. In England, this sort of works, and they had a bit of success at home.
Yeah.
When Australia, they had the home Ashes. Sorry, and England had the home Ashes.
Yep.
Australia retained the Ashes, but England very quickly came back and won back-to-back Tests. So there is merit. There is a method to the madness. And what they did, and I think that's where a lot of people were annoyed, for want of a better word, is in that series that they played against India, they did tune. There was elements of where, I think Michael Bourne mentioned it, it was almost like baseball with brains, where they did show that they had these little gears in between. It wasn't
baseball with brains.
Baseball with brains, right? It wasn't all out attack. There were periods where they played a bit of attritional cricket.
Yeah.
Now, whether that was by design or that just happened to be, I think a lot of people took confidence from that.
Yeah.
At least, even the Australian supporters, even the Australian media said, look, this is a team to watch out for. Because they had all the ingredients to challenge Australia. I'm not going to say they were going to win, but they had all the ingredients. And I still think they're playing 30% below their potential. There's stuff in there that Harry Brook is one of the most exciting cricketers going around.
He's good, yeah.
Right? Ben Stokes is. That man is a warrior at heart. He will bowl, he will play till his body gives up.
Yeah.
So there's stuff in there.
Yeah.
But I guess it was the lead up into the Ashes where people started questioning. They had no red ball cricket leading into the Ashes, all said and done. We all know Australia is one of the hardest places to win.
Yeah.
The England team, of all people, should know.
Yep.
They've in here.
They've been playing for 100 years plus.
So there's questionable stuff that they did there. They played a white ball tournament in New Zealand where they absolutely got thrashed as well, coming in here. So there's stuff in there that you want to question. You go, why didn't they send the test specialist here? You had Harry Brook captaining there. Why were they playing that meeting? Considering the ODI World Cup is not until 2027. So why send all those people there? The test specialist going in there. They come in here in Perth. They chose not to play a domestic tournament. Look, that's a lot of teams that do that now. They don't play any domestic games in the touring country. They chose to play an A game with the English Lions in Lilac Hill, which, one, for starters,
Where is that?
In Perth, right? So in Perth, it's in WA. The problem there is, that's all and good, but the pitch they're playing on and the pitch that was at the Optus Stadium are chalk and cheese. So right? So that's not adequate preparation.
Yeah.
You can net as much as you want. You can play as much as you want in the nets. That does not equate to match simulation, right? you need to have overs under the legs. Playing in a match and playing in the nets are two different things. And I think that's where people started. That's where your argument holds up good. You're confident, but does that mean any preparation you're doing? That is overconfidence to me.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've gone on a bit of a rant.
Yeah.
Long and short of it is
Yeah.
the results are there to see.
Yeah.
With it, before they could know it,
Yeah.
they got absolutely thrashed in Adelaide.
Yep.
Carey scoring a brilliant century.
Yep.
Travis Head scoring a century as well.
Yep.
Can you believe the man's played 4 home tests and he scored centuries in all 4?
Yeah. No.
What
a champion.
They still managed to win on the back of Nathan Lyon going down on the final day. In the final session, pulls a hamstring. It was tailor-made for Nathan Lyon.
Yep.
And he goes down, and Australia still managed to win. Pat Cummins, that man, under an injury cloud. I talk about no match preparation, but this is a man, again, who had been ruled out, but he was bowling. He only came to this test when he was 100% sure. Comes in, puts in an incredible performance. And then what does he do? Well, before they know it, England have already lost the Ashes. Australia have won 3-0. So after 11 days in a designated, well, not even 11. In a designated 15 days, England are staring at 3. They've already lost the Ashes. They've lost the Ashes. And Pat Cummins, and this is within a team that does not have Hazelwood, had Steve Smith missing, had no Pat Cummins for the first 2 tests. Usman Khawaja was ruled out for the first, had back spasm in the first couple of tests. They had a makeshift opener. Nathan Lyon went down in the final session. So you would say they had opportunities in there.
They did.
And they absolutely squandered it.
Absolutely, I agree. And it ended up being 3-0.
3-0.
Yeah. And Travis Head has sealed his position.
Travis Head is done.
He's tailor-made now. I mean, like, seriously, he's sealed his position.
Absolutely. Right? And credit to Usman Khawaja as well, for someone that literally got pulled back from the dead, revived from there, comes back and plays a very important innings of 82 as well.
Yeah,
showed his experience.
And
I think that's the difference between this Australian team and the English team. They called it a bit of a dad's army, if you like. But they value experience, and the experience shows. It shows what miles in the legs feels like, the match situation.
It does,
You could come back from the dead, but you've got that match experience. You've got that muscle memory of how to play this. So you've got someone like, in the English team, someone like a Jacob Bettel who's never played a red ball game, but he's part of the 11.
Interesting. I mean, like, I think the final margin of victory was what, 82 runs?
But that's deceiving, because that was just them chancing their arm. I guess Ben Stokes and Will Jacks put up a bit of a fight in the end, but that was a foregone conclusion. It was just a matter of breaking that partnership, and you knew, Australia could win that.
3-0 down, and the Ashes was gone. That was it. That was it, and game over. I mean, it's funny, Travis Head, he made, I think, combined altogether now, is made up of 430 odd runs, strike rate of 84.20 in a test round. That's insane, with an average of 54.
For someone who wasn't intended to be the first choice.
Correct.
Right?
And that's phenomenal.
And Pat Cummins comes, bowls the team to victory, and what does he do in the post-match conference? He says, "That's me done. I'm going to sit out the next of the test. I feel there's some more things I need to work out on." So he says he won't be playing in Melbourne.
I mean, it was. Look. I mean, they have to rest him all out now. They can afford to now.
Well, that's the thing, right? Look, he's in his 30s as well, so he knows, and I think the management knows as well where they need to look after his body. And the good thing about the Australian cricket team, the bench strength is phenomenal, right? They've identified who's next in line. People just slot in and they know what to do. Absolutely. The biggest question they had Okay, so that's the Adelaide Test. So before you know it, 3-0. Australia won the Ashes yet again.
Yep.
They've retained the Ashes, rather.
They've retained the Ashes. Yep.
England, for all its bravado,
Mhm.
they have crashed and burned, and they're 3-0 down.
Mhm.
There's literally no coming up back from
Yeah,
that.
no.
Now they're playing for, as the cliche goes, for pride.
Now they're playing for pride.
Right.
And off they go to Melbourne. And here we are. And
So the big question leading, sorry, Martin, I didn't mean to cut you off.
yeah, no.
No, the big question for Australia leading into
Mm-hmm.
Melbourne was no Nathan Lyon. So I talk about the pace, battery, bench strength.
Mm-hmm.
The reality is, from the spin department,
Mm-hmm.
Australia hasn't quite identified their successor,
Mm-hmm.
Nathan Lyon's successor. Now, he's the GOAT for a reason. He's the greatest off spinner Australia has had. 500 wickets, 500 plus wickets. His successor, they haven't quite nailed. They've tried a bit of Steve Kuhneman in subcontinent conditions, but he's a left arm spinner.
Mm-hmm.
They've tried a bit of Todd Murphy, and he has bowled well, but not Nathan Lyon levels.
Mm-hmm.
And the success of this team has been built on the three fast men and the spinner, Nathan Lyon. Nathan Lyon holding one end up, not just holding one end up. So it's relentless. There's no respite. So that was the big question going to the MCG. Who are they going to replace with? What did they do 24 hours before the test? They announced an all-pace attack. And I'll be the first one to admit, when I saw that, I said, no spinner at the J. He must be, I don't know what these guys are smoking.
It was an interesting... I mean, I didn't follow the press conference, but
Sure.
yeah. To talk a little bit about what made you say it was. I mean, yes, you expect to spin at the G, but I mean, what made you think they went in this direction?
Look, clearly, they obviously looked at the pitch, right? They looked at the pitch before, and then they realized there's something in it for the pace bowlers.
And the chair was a sugar lump.
Yes, all right. So let's not.
So, let's not even go there. God Almighty!
And Todd Murphy wasn't part of the squad as well, so
Yep.
they sort of bring him from the cold. So I
Yep.
guess the thinking there is, look, it's a pitch that will support the seam bowlers. May as well go with an all-out rather than risk a tweaker. And look, able replacements. They got Nisa in, they got Jai Richardson.
They had Jai Richardson and Nisa.
So yeah, on the morning of the test match, when you look at the pitch, it was a bit overcast. Boxing Day and Christmas.
It was.
Christmas and Boxing Day.
Typical Melbourne, yeah.
Yeah, it was a bit cold. It was a bit overcast. Look, for all the... Actually, I'll save that for later. I'll park my thought there. So England win the toss. Looks a bit like a green deck. And what do? They like to bowl first.
Yep, they elected to bowl. Yep.
From there, it's hard to sort of... Okay, let's
just say 20 wickets in one day.
20 wickets in one day.
I mean,
was it an entire day, Martin?
No. And that says it all. 142 hours of chaos, as they call it. What?
It wasn't even 142 overs.
That's what they're saying. Altogether combined.
Yeah, combined.
Combined 142 hours of chaos.
In the 3 innings alone, in 98 overs, they lost.
It was insane that year.
98 overs, they lost 20. They lost. Yeah, it is just... To put things in perspective, a full day's test should incorporate about 90 overs.
Correct.
Right? 142 is not even 2 days of cricket.
No.
The first innings barely lasted 30-something odd overs.
The
second innings.
Yep.
So Australia gets bowled out for...
I don't know how much.
Have you got the scores there? I can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, I can't remember it.
Look, again, it was 152.
Oh, something like that. Yeah, to those kind of numbers. Yeah.
Looking at... And it was just harakiri, really.
Literally.
England come out and...
Oh, even
I,
worse.
it's hard to articulate what went
right.
right exactly, or what the hell was happening. I sat there. I was there. Sat.
What the hell was going on?
It was
I
a
was
packed
watching it,
day.
and I'm thinking to myself,
Sellout crowd.
Jesus.
Sellout crowd, 90 or 90.
I mean, it was entertaining.
Was it though, Martin? Was it? Look at this. Look, I say this with the benefit of hindsight. When it was happening, at least when Australian wickets were just stumbling, I've just gone, what is going on? And then England batted.
Oh, it was even worse.
Which was even worse, right? And then
I think there was
they get a 40-run, 32-run, 40-run lead.
40 something like that.
Which, in the grand scheme of things, that lead is worth its weight in gold. So,
absolutely.
All said and done, look, there's no spoiler alerts here. England ended up winning the test. But at the end of day one, I was sat there thinking, I don't know what to make of this.
No. And at the end of day two, let's just put it this way. I went to day two.
Okay.
Right? And so there was 94,000 people attended day one. There was 92 in day two. And supposedly there was supposed to be 90 plus in day three. Okay. I went for day two. And let's just say it was on. And it was interesting to watch. And to a point where you just think, wow. And you and then I started feeling sorry for the people that bought tickets for day three.
That's where it is.
All right. And you now feel sorry for people that have waited for day four. I'll give you stats in that case.
Yeah.
So the Australian Cricket Australia said they've lost now approximately $9 to $10 million.
Well, sorry, I didn't mean to cut it. Let's leave that for about a little later. Let's go in the economics of it and why this is going to hurt, why this has hurt them. Let's discuss the match and then go into
it. Sure. I mean, I'm happy for you to discuss it. The thing is, the other thing, there's a lot of people that were flying in to watch. So apparently, there were a lot of English fans that had flown in, 20,000 odd that had flown in just so they could experience it. Look, today is supposed to be a day where we're watching cricket.
This is supposed to be day 4.
This is supposed to be day 4.
This is the movie day.
It's crickets. We got crickets. Nothing. Right?
And I think that's where sorry.
Yeah, so that's a serious thing. And so there was, the curator had to come out and defend it. Apparently, he had left 10 mils of grass.
Yes, that was on day 1.
Yeah, and so I would like you to talk to the thought process and the technicalities of it and what your thoughts are. Look, so you're the expert. So
okay, let's round up.
I go there for the entertainment.
No, we all do, Martin. We all do, right? So maybe let's just, for the sake of continuity and to make this discussion linear, let's round up how the test ended. The test ended with England winning, right? Yeah. And look, let's go in there. Australia played ridiculous cricket in the second innings.
Yep.
As much as we criticize the pitch, I actually think Australia missed a trick as well. I actually think, and this is where, when it all happened, it took me a while to sit back going, what just happened? But now that I think of it, I'm actually angry that this has happened. And this is just as a cricket enthusiast, right? A diehard cricket fan, if you like. I'm happy England won, don't get me wrong. England, let's give credit there. England have managed to pull off when everything was stacked against them. Right? They were 3-0 down. Their own press was going after them. They had paparazzi following them when they had their time off as well during the R&R, which I think is completely uncalled for.
But that's the English, though. You know that, right?
Well, no, these are people going and, gate crashing them and selling footage to the Daily Mail just for cheap, 2 seconds of fame, really, which I thought was completely unfair. Look, what do you expect when a team is down? What do you expect them to just sit in a cellar and eat bread and water for the rest? You're allowed to and then that's what they call. But anyway, they did. They defied the odds. They defied. This team has come under a lot of scrutiny, and we've discussed Brendan McCullum, Ben Stokes, and we've tore them to shreds, really, with the way they thought. But credit where credit's due, they've managed to pull a victory. They've managed to win a test in Australia after 15 years.
Oh,
Right?
you did ask for a breakdown for the numbers for
Yeah.
Melbourne. So Australia's first inning 152 in 45.2 overs.
Yep.
England's first inning was 110 in 29.5.
So
It's not even a it's not even a 50 over match.
It's not even an ODI.
Okay. And then Australia's second innings was 132. So we're talking 42 plus, so 174 was the number. 174 was the magic number to beat. And England's second innings was 178 for 6.
Yeah.
So 32.2 overs. Right. So altogether, that was it. So 45.2, 29.5, 34.3, and 32.2.
There you go. So not even a full day's.
No. No.
Okay. So look. So credit where credit's due.
Yep.
England managed to pull it off, and look, they were set 175 to win. Australia went into day 2 with a 40-run lead. So effectively, they've started the day 2. 42 for no loss. Right.
Correct. Yep. You think now?
Yeah. Any sort of lead on that pitch, on that diabolical pitch, is worth its weight in gold.
Yep.
And I think this is where Australia got spooked a little bit, you know, where they just went and thought, look, and I'm happy to be just for the sake of being a devil's advocate here. I think Australia also, there's a little bit of complacency in the sense that they thought, look, we won tests, we won the series, let's try something different here.
Yep.
Steve Smith ran out of partners. Travis Head scored a 40 in the first innings.
He did,
Right? I dare say they needed to use a little bit of, bring their experience to the fore and sort of grind. I think they were spooked by thinking, this pitch is absolutely diabolical. Let's just go attack.
Yep.
If it comes off, it comes off. It's better than hanging in there, scoring, you know,
nothing.
1 of 50 balls.
And then getting
pinged. Out. Right. So you, with the proverbial, there's a ball with my name on it. Let's just.
Yep.
And this is, credit where credit's due, these are the sort of scenarios where Bazwell works.
Yeah, I can see that. Yep.
And they stuck to their guns.
Yeah.
And it came off. Now, is this the winning formula? No. But let's give credit where credit's due.
Yeah.
Before we sort of go into this thing, England deserve their moment in the sun right now.
Yeah, they do.
They you know, it's very easy to, especially after this defeat where everyone is going, it's very easy to get pulled down and then go into a bit of a rabbit hole, if you like. They stuck to their guns. They changed a few personnel. They, you know, they believed in the philosophy and they came out and they walked the talk for once.
They did, yeah.
Right. Long story short, 2-day test, England have won.
Yeah.
Now, let's also give credit where credit's due. Even after the test, Ben Stokes said, is this a pitch that I would have wanted to play or I like playing on? Probably not. And look, these guys are under strict instructions. You're not allowed to criticize the...
No.
And look, as you would, right? It's a job, right? So they're not allowed to criticize the curators and...
there's a lot of penalties involved.
Absolutely.
You know, you can't bag anyone.
Okay.
You literally cannot bag anyone. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's not on. And you will get fined.
Of course.
So
it could be even a suspension.
It could even be a suspension. So literally, these guys have to
gag orders.
They got gag orders, and they literally have to walk a very tight rope. And God bless them for doing it.
Yeah.
It was a diabolical pitch, man.
Absolutely.
It was. And talking about diabolical pitch, right? Nobody made a 50.
No, absolutely.
No one made a 50 there, right? No spinners. But the thing that astonished me was Carey, right?
You were at the pitch. Yeah, let's talk about it.
Mate, medium paces. This guy went right up to the stumps like he was spinners.
He's been doing that all series, Martin. He's been doing that in the pink ball test. Standing up to Michael. Now, we call them medium paces. We're not talking 120s. We're talking in the late 130s.
Yeah, we're talking 138.
Yeah.
This guy is literally standing. All these guys who want to step out, to whack, they can't.
No.
You literally
He
cannot
did that in the pink ball test, Martin, where the ball is known to move. Exactly.
Yeah. Insane keeping, dude.
Absolutely.
Absolute insane. And you know what? When Stark was bowling, he would go all the way back.
Yes, of course.
Right? But he wouldn't wear the helmet.
Oh.
He wouldn't. He wore the helmet when he was right next to, whether it was Jay Richardson or Nisa bowling. When he was right there next to the stump,
which you should.
He was wearing the helmet. But when these guys were when Stark was bowling, no problems. I'll go to the back.
I didn't pay attention to that. Wow.
He was just wearing his hat, and I was like, man, you balls of steel, dude. I mean, like seriously, that is some insane wicket keeping.
He is easily, probably the world's best keeper at the moment.
He's
keeper going in around at the moment. Yeah,
he is without a doubt an unbelievable keeper. I mean, like he has broken all the rules around it.
And consistently, it's not a one-off performance. He's absolutely, and we haven't even talked about his batting, right?
Oh yeah,
we haven't even talked about it. He's worth his place
in gold
in any team just on his primary skill alone.
Yeah.
He could walk into any 11 now, and he commands a place in the playing 11.
Absolutely. I mean, he's phenomenal wicket
for someone that wasn't even a natural wicket keeper.
Exactly.
Right?
This was not his natural. First and foremost, this was not the game he wanted to play.
Yeah.
And then he took this game, as you said, and as you educated me, as a way of coming out of his depression. And look at him. And like, it's insane. It's wow. It's just absolute no joke, man.
Hey, he's elevated his game to.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So let's talk about
So that's the test.
That's the test. In MCG, me and Jackie went. Me, Jackie, all of us were there. There were about 1, 2, 3, 4, about 8 of us. Were there. We all saw it. I was speaking to my brother too in the US. He was watching it, and anyway, fun and games. I could see that the game was coming to an end.
Yeah,
he was going to finish, and I kind of felt sorry because I knew that more than 90,000 people had purchased tickets.
Let's go into that now.
Right, so more than 90,000. And do you know the thing with Ticketek? Let's be brutal. You're not going to get a refund for this.
You will get a refund. Cricket Australia is organising a refund.
Are they?
Yes, which is part of. We'll come to the numbers. They are organising a refund.
I thought look. I was under the impression, so correct. Obviously, I'm wrong. I was under the impression that if you buy a ticket for day 3, day 4, or day 5, there's no guarantee that the game will go that long.
Yeah,
you are taking the punt.
Yeah,
right. And if you're taking the punt, and if it doesn't get that long, that's on you.
Yeah.
If the game is called off,
yes,
then you get a refund.
Yeah.
But when the game is finished, you don't get a refund.
Okay. No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But in this case, Cricket Australia is
refunding.
They are refunding money, which we will come down to the financial.
Now that explains the $10 million then.
Well, a part of it, Martin. A part of
because
it.
Let's say
ticket sales are not. They don't equate to.
Well, so there's 94,000, right? In the G. Well, the 94,000 is what, or 92,000 is what they're expecting, right? Average ticket is $100. Yeah. So that's 9 million. That's straight up 9 million, right? So where am I getting this wrong?
Okay, no. A bulk of the money comes from TV rights, right?
Yeah.
Advertising revenue. So I guess that's what I'm trying to say. So okay,
no, they lost 9 million is basically because they're refunding.
Yeah. No, let's go into the financial loss. So for starters, we talked about how, look, on the face of it, it's a result-oriented test.
Yeah.
England have won something, so there's something to cheer for. But where this has fallen flat on is, one, it's only gone for 2 days, right? This was a foregone conclusion even before day 2 commenced.
Yeah.
And I think
everyone knew it was dead done.
There was no way this is going unless a miracle happened.
Absolute miracle. Halfway through the day, everyone knew this game was going to be finished.
Absolutely, right? 20 wickets on day one, Martin, unless something miraculously
I
happens.
mean, like, Boland kept his wicket and came in. I mean, night watchman, and he came in for the second day. And once it started pinging them all out, I knew this game was over.
Oh, Martin, everyone, yeah, could see this game would not last, barring a miracle. Like I'm talking superhuman performance, like when Dravid and Lakshman scored that in the Kolkata Test, right? But even then, you knew. I mean, that was superhuman effort, but even then, the pitch was not as diabolical as this, right?
This was
so, I guess that's where I think that's where the problem is, right? So, Australia and England as custodians of Test cricket, this is a bad advertisement for Test cricket. They're the one. Australia, England, and India are the only ones that play
Test cricket.
Well, the majority of the game, right? Other game
because there's no money. Nobody else can afford it.
Correct, right?
It's just no money in it.
So there's the only 3 teams that play 5 Test matches, right? And where this has fallen flat is that these are 2 two-day Test matches that have happened in one series. That's never happened before.
Perth, and this,
right? Exactly right.
Yeah.
You do have the odd Test that happens.
Yeah. That's fine,
before.
but this one is like, what the hell is going on?
What has happened, right?
I mean, like, yeah.
Look, Australia is unique in the sense where Cricket Australia does not have any say in how the pitches are designed. The pitches are governed by the state cricket associations. Cricket Australia does not interfere in it. They can talk to the pitch, or they can, what's the word I'm looking for? They can make some suggestions, but at the end of the day, the pitch curator he's his own boss.
Yep.
They do not interfere. It's the same in England as well. But let's not talk about England. Let's talk about Australia. The state cricket associations,
which is Victoria in this case,
absolutely, they control their pitches, so they can request. Sorry, that's the word. They can request for conditions, but there is no guarantee that they'll
get it.
Will get it, or they'll even give them a year and actually, take on that suggestion.
Yeah. Because they, to be honest, they're also fiercely independent.
Yes, they're fiercely independent.
And they absolutely dislike the Big Brother thing.
Unlike the BCCI, right? So this is anyone's. So, as much as we criticize cricket, the Australian cricket team did not want this pitch. The England cricket team certainly did not.
Nobody wanted this pitch.
At the end of the day, this match was a shootout.
It was a shootout. It then turned out to be a literal shootout.
Absolutely.
It's not meant to be a shootout.
No. And I think it's literally the Test was decided on the toss. This could have easily been the other way around had Australia won the toss.
Oh, that's true.
Right? Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
So I guess that's where it is. And I think that's where it's interesting. And I'd be interested to hear your thoughts. Had Australia won this in 2 days, would we have had this discussion, or would we have said England are still a...
No, we would have had this discussion. I'll tell you why. Because you can't expect... This is insane. It's absolutely...
I agree. Don't get me wrong.
It's insanity. Look, because at the end of the day, Australia only made 152.
No. I get all that.
And then what? A 42-run lead.
Yeah.
And so a total of 174.
Yeah.
So it was nowhere near.
It was an absolute. There was nothing that was.
So even if Australia had chosen and they won the toss, or they won the match, it was below par.
It was below par. Don't get me wrong. The pitch rating will come out, but the damage has been done.
Yeah.
I guess that's my point here. And before we go into the economics of it, I'm playing devil's advocate here. I dare say, had the roles been reversed, and Australia won 4-0 here, as much as we criticize the pitch now, and the Australian press has criticized the pitch, I don't know if we would have had a lot of noise, because I think the focus would have still been about how subpar the England cricket team is. I actually think what's happened, and I think it's a good thing that's happened that England's won.
Yeah.
And I think that's given a little more spotlight on the pitch.
It has, yeah. I mean, like, no joke. I mean, like, what's his name? Matthew Page, the MCG.
Matt Page, yeah.
Matt Page came out. He had to come out and address the press.
He's done it before. Martin.
I mean, he's obviously media trained.
Yes, of course.
He knows what to say. But
Correct.
I mean, like, seriously, well, how are you going to defend this pitch?
No. So, and I think that's where it is. So now let's go down to the next part of it. Why Cricket Australia is
Annoyed.
not just annoyed. I think
Man, just hold your thoughts. Cricket Australia is currently running at a loss.
yes.
Right?
Let's go there.
Okay. So Cricket Australia is currently running at a loss. Sorry, apologies. And you know, they make money when the Indians tour,
Mm-hmm.
and they make money when the English tour. All right, that's when they make their money. And even with that, they're still behind. The numbers are
Well,
they,
purely for this reason, like you said, Martin.
and now on top of this nonsense of 2 days,
Yes. So I
I
don't think
think this
Cricket
is
Australia's defense, they did not see that coming.
no. I think they're probably looking and saying we need to go and get a bank loan now.
Actually,
we need to go and get a bank loan. I mean, there's not a chance in hell that the government of Australia is going to allow
No.
to go broke. Them to go-
Hold that point.
Okay.
I've got something, and this is purely a conspiracy theory,
Yeah,
but I can see where. I'll tell you why I think that's a really important point.
yeah,
So the fact of the matter is, Cricket Australia made a loss in the first test,
yeah.
and in the third, the Boxing Day test as well, the Melbourne, the MCG test, right? So
Yeah.
they are running.
Red.
They're in the red.
Oh, mate,
Easily they have
the ink is just red.
Right, and for no fault, it's not like the weather played havoc.
No.
Ironically, the weather did nothing. They've had cracker weather. Look at,
Yeah.
for those that are not from Melbourne, today should have been day 4 of the test, and today's 33 degrees.
33 degrees.
Yesterday was 28 with not a cloud in the sky
There's no cloud now either.
either.
All right, it's hot as
It is, right?
like the back end of a hellhole.
Absolutely. It would
Right.
have been a beautiful, beautiful batting day,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So yeah, weather hasn't intervened. There's no El Nino that's played wreaked havoc.
Yeah.
Tickets were sold out. There was no problem of tickets being sold out, and
No.
I think that's where I am annoyed. There are people that will be landing in the country, would have landed in the country
Yeah.
yesterday and today, and they've got nothing. There is a good gap. The next test is on the 4th of January. So
Yep.
it's a good
There's a
week
good-
and a bit.
Yep.
And they've got nothing
I'm
to do.
flying from the UK to here. Ain't cheap, one.
Yeah.
And it's bloody long. It's 24 hours.
And they've got nothing to do,
They-
man.
they've got nothing to
for the
do.
next 2 days, right?
You
So
know?
it's affecting tourism,
It is.
right? And they've lost money to the point where there was
yeah.
a rumor that they were trying to organize, which had no merit to it. They were trying to organize a charity one-day game just to fill in
The
just to
days.
just give something back to the fans, right? And the fans, credit to the English supporters, have come in droves. The Barmy Army has come in here.
Yeah, they have. Yep. I've
Absolutely.
witnessed. Yeah, I was there. I saw that. Yeah.
What are some of the numbers you've got there, Martin, in terms of the financial loss?
Well, that's what they're saying. 10 million
Yep.
is what they're saying.
Okay.
But I know that I'd read previously that Cricket Australia was running in the red.
Okay.
He was still in the red, irrespective of all this, right?
So, yeah.
Prior to the game starting itself, they were already in the red,
Yeah.
right? But now this is even worse.
Absolutely.
All right. So,
So we've got two-day tests. That is just from a test cricket point alone, that is absolutely ludicrous. Nobody, I repeat, nobody should go into 2-day tests, right? Look, India famously, they prepare rank tennis where it does not go beyond days 2 and day 3. But our topic, we're not focusing on India at the moment. We're focusing on India.
Yep.
So whenever it happens in India, people throw for rightly, people do get, the Indian board does get criticized for that, for providing rank turners where the tests do not go beyond 2 days or 3 days, right?
So very quickly, I'll just give the numbers. So Todd Greenberg, Cricket Australia CEO, said short tests are bad for business.
Absolutely.
A pattern of loss is one of the titles. The estimated loss for Cricket Australia for the Perth test was $3 million. The ticket refunds for 90,000 plus in just, it's about approximately $10 million. That's not including issues with broadcasting and sponsorship. So these numbers are not
They're
great.
serious.
They are seriously Like, I mean, they probably have to write off 20 to $22 million out.
Absolutely.
And Cricket Australia is not rich enough. It's not like the BCCI.
Well,
They can write off those kind of numbers. They can't.
well, it's not even writing off numbers. That is even if BCCI being the richest cricket board, that is a serious hole in the pocket.
That's a
That's some
serious hole in the pocket,
right?
right? So two-day test doesn't work. I mean, like they look.
The BCCI is slightly different in the sense,
Yep.
they, on the face of it, they may not look like they don't care about this money, but that is some serious coin.
Yeah.
Right? What they do is they make up, and in India, a market like India, it's the advertisements. They can still market the cricketers. That's because as a cricket consuming public in India, they'll lap up anything with the cricketers, right?
Yeah.
That's not the same in Australia or in England. As
No.
much as they follow as much as they're supporters, they are not die-hard supporters. They don't treat them like demigods.
No.
They treat them for who they are, which are sportsmen and elite sportsmen.
Elite sportsmen, yeah.
So there's only so much marketing they can do.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Which now comes back to, oh wait, I'll let you finish.
So the first day crowd was 94,199 or 94,200. Total of attendance across 2 days was 186,000. That basically means 92,000 was the second day. Day 3 projections, the sellout of over 90,000 was expected, including up to 20,000 traveling English fans. Right? That is some serious numbers, dude.
Okay.
And now we're talking.
Okay, so like you
the hospitality, everything that went with that is gone skis.
Long story short, they have burnt a serious hole in their pocket.
Correcto.
It's the hole is probably there's a massive crater.
Yeah.
Right?
They'll have to drag India back here to come and play so they can get.
So, on that point, the fact that you mentioned India is important, but we need to cover that with something. So I was thinking of something on my way here. Driving.
Yeah.
We know the BBL is going on at the moment.
Yeah,
right?
It is. Yep.
All said and done, the BBL isn't IPL levels.
No.
And the BBL, by Cricket Australia's own admission, isn't a profit, isn't a cash cow the way the IPL is for the BCCI. Right? It is struggling to make as much money and getting as much attention to the point where they've, in their defense, they've staved off foreign investment into it's all run by the state associations.
Yes.
Here's my question to you. With these sort of numbers, does that mean Cricket Australia is now forced to privatize it?
I think they will.
And I think that's why I said
because that's the only way they can. They need to fill the hole, man. It's not a tiny hole either.
No,
it's a bloody big hole.
Exactly right.
So
they did market the hell out of the Ashes, and anticipation.
And guess what? I mean, the next one is Sydney. So, guarantee you that thing's going to be a washout.
No, I'm going to go I'm going the other way around. I think what cricket is, what the state of cricket is going to do,
they'll give you a pancake and say, bat away.
That's it. They're going to overcorrect it and give you a road for cricket to make it last 5 days.
Oh, yeah. They'll give you a complete road.
Going through a bit of a heat wave at the moment, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true.
So, look,
it'll be a complete pancake.
I think
bat away.
Just bat away. It'll be an absolute batathon. That isn't the word. And look, day 3 and day 4 is...
You got to give something for the
It's a Foundation Day as well.
Yeah.
So, I think they're going to overcorrect.
Yeah.
I could be proven wrong.
Yeah.
Right? But I generally, leading into the Ashes, that this was one of the tests I would have said will be washed out.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to overcorrect and make sure people do come in. But look, at the end of the day, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
The bigger financial problem here is, they are looking at a massive hole.
Yeah.
And I think that's the ripple effect that Cricket Australia is now. And I think that's
so
why
the question is, all right, so they need to fill this hole. Let's just assume it's about 15 to 20 million, right? The hole is.
Yeah.
Right? It's not easy to get that kind of money, right? Broadcasting right or whatever it is that you get.
Well, the question is, which broadcaster is now willing to punt in Australia now?
Exactly, right? I mean, let's put that aside. So then they now have to privatize the BBL or semi-privatize it, right? Which would mean that the likes of the guys who own Mumbai Indians and Chennai Super Kings and all those guys who come in and buy it. My question to you is this. If they do that, right, So these guys own now parts of South African things. They will own this one. They will have this entire set. The US, right? The Caribbean Legals, I think, is part of.
Yes, you're right. Yep.
So they have all these leagues, right? So what would have happened now in Australia at the moment? There's a couple of Pakistani players. If the Indian owners end up buying this, will they be one? Will they allow members of the Indian team to play because they've bought these guys? So does that mean they will come into play, which might be good, which will be good because if say the likes of a Kohli or a Sharma or all these guys come and start playing here, I mean, they'll put restrictions, but the eyeballs will go back, right? There'll be people willing to watch. They'll pay whatever money it is to watch it. So that would one. Question two is, will the owners allow Pakistani players to play?
I'll answer question 2 first.
Yeah. Walk me through this.
I am going to hazard a guess and say no.
Yep.
Right?
I think so too.
Yeah. I think that is, unfortunately, not going to happen. I think it's just the nature of the way the franchise cricket works and how the government of India, the BCCI being a function of it as well, they're not probably won't.
Because the owners,
correct,
it's no longer Cricket Victoria or Queensland Cricket or whatever it is. The owners are private owners.
Absolutely.
And they will say, I'm sorry, I am not putting my money with these mob. I'm paying someone else.
I think so. I think so. And especially, look, this is a massive assumption. We're assuming that the investors will be Indian investors. Right? So let's put it that way, right? So look. I mean, it is a speculative exercise at the moment, but going by, and this is not just us putting our tinfoil hat, right? Generally, in these franchise worlds, what we've seen is the Indian franchise, Indian owners really lapping up these franchises. The bigger question is, this is a change in culture for the Australian domestic cricket scene. Right, because they've resisted up until now. Now they don't have a choice. So I dare say it's a question of when rather than if at this stage of.
So it is because there was conversation. Yes, there was conversation at the beginning of the year of the BBL getting privatized, semi-privatized, half ownership kind of a thing. But now that the numbers are so diabolical for Cricket Australia, there's nothing. The next year we're playing New Zealand, by the way, just to give you it's not going to be, they're not going to make money out of that one. No. Not, all right?
It's going to be a 2 test or 3 test. It's not going to be a 5 test.
It's not going, so it's literally, they're not going to make money there. So the year after is who?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Okay. So the only countries that make money in Australia, or where Australia makes money, is England, when the Ashes on, and India. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
Bob's your uncle, right? Everybody else, they're not making money. Okay. That's why they don't even want to play South Africa. They don't want to play New Zealand.
Well, South Africa don't play tests. Simple. Well, not as enough tests. They're only playing 2 test series. As they played in India. They played in India and they could only play 2 tests, which obviously India got whitewashed.
No, completely.
Now, to answer your first point, Martin, first question rather.
Yeah.
I don't think they will. I don't think the superstars of Indian cricket will come across and play in the BBL.
Why is that?
Because that's how it has worked up until now. For all the other franchises that the Indian investors have lapped up, you don't see Kohli play in South Africa. You don't see Kohli play in the Middle East, in the Caribbean.
But I'm going to challenge you.
And you know why?
I'll challenge you there. Sure. I think there is BCCI is cognizant of one thing. They're very smart businessmen.
Of course.
Right? They know that they need to keep Australia alive. Cricket Australia alive, right? They need to keep it alive.
Yep.
They need to keep England also alive, right? Because they need them. If not, the game is going to be a diabolical problem. It's
yes
going to,
and no. We're looking at only, what are we looking at?
We're looking at, the health of the game. All right? Okay. So, if there's no money, now I'll give you an example, and a real example of it. Rugby. Okay, rugby union. I'm not talking NRL. I'm talking rugby union. I mean, they are year in year out in the red, and without fail, that's reflected in the game, right? So you look at the Wallabies and you just say, "Oh my God!" I mean, like seriously, is this all we can do?
Okay.
Okay, there's no money. They can't invest.
No, you're right.
And 20 million is no joke.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
going to have a ripple down effect all the way down, right? And what will end up happening is, there come a time they cannot afford to bring in people.
Correct.
So talent, goes where the money is, right? So let's just be. I mean, to be honest, I think the only way they will have to. I think you're right. They're going to sell it, or they might have to sell it.
They will have to sell it.
They will have to sell it. There'll be all these owners. It will be I reckon it'll be Indian owners or Indian-based owners, simply because that's where the thing
Correct.
is.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I think they might relax the rule so that you have some Indian players playing here.
Yeah. The key word is Indian players. The big thing over here is the star Indian players won't play. And I'll tell you why, Martin. As much as BCCI does all this, they will protect their
cash cow.
They'll protect their cash cow. That's all there. They'll, what's the word I'm looking for? They'll make sure this side of the fence is greener before they do anything else. The BCCI, and I'm an Indian team supporter. I'm just calling a spade a spade. They are not the custodians of the game of cricket. They are the custodians of making Indian cricket profitable, period. I'll tell you why. Like I said, you will not, because during this time, during the BBL, it's not like the Indian cricket team is sitting doing nothing. They've got home series, Martin.
Yeah.
You think they will market a home series without the likes of your superstar players?
Okay, but I mean, there's also the second-rate players too, no?
Which Indian broadcaster will invest money and say, "Oh, yeah, I'm happy to play with an Indian B team"? So again, this is not a criticism. This is just stating facts as a fact, right? The fact of the matter is, for an Indian team to be, for an Indian team to play, they want their premier players to play, period. And they want to make IPL the most. If they're making a loss, no problem. They'll just extend the IPL. That's how the BCCI works, and that's how they'll think about it. They're just interested in making sure that their lunch is not cut. Simple as that. They are not here to promote the game of cricket.
Yeah.
Simple as that. So,
it is in their interest to promote the game of cricket, because at the end of the day, if the pool starts to drop,
well, it won't drop. I guess that's what it is. As we discussed some time back, the IPL is such a tournament. It's structured in such a way where for a player, for a capped Indian player to play in another league, they need to be officially retired.
So they've set it up like the NBL, haven't they?
Well, they have, and I guess that's what I'm trying to say, Martin.
So you have to fight your way there.
Well, the only way you can play is once you've given up on a dream of playing for India, the Indian national team, is only when you can move. Even then, you need a no objection certificate. Because if what you said was true, they would have been playing in all the other leagues. The fact of the matter is, Rohit Sharma will only play in the Mumbai Indians. Virat Kohli is only playing in RCB to maintain the exclusivity. MS Dhoni is not even. He's still CSK. He's even for the teams that are owned by Chennai Super Kings or the Mumbai Indians, they don't even go across to play in charity club, because, like I said, they don't have the time. These players are committed to play for the national team.
Yeah.
And Indian cricket there's hardly a period where they're not playing, right?
That's true.
So that's not going to happen.
All right. So circling back to Test, we're talking of the implications. We'll talk of the financial implications where this continues. It's nobody's going to play Test. 2 days, everybody will be losing money.
Yeah, including the host station.
So question is, how do we? What's the next step? How do you make sure that you go over 5 days? I guess one of the things that this suggestions I have here is that is it time for the ICC to enforce a consistent, a global standard on how pitch is being done, and
That-
do that. It sounds all great, but I don't think they have the teeth.
That's my thing. Look, as much as, and again, this is not a slight on the game. You and I, we love the game. As much as ICC stands as the global sort of governing body, are they really the governing body?
No, it's the BCCI.
It is, right? So they can say whatever they want. I agree with you. I think there should be a global.
But I'll tell you what, Jay Shah is a no nonsense guy.
Absolutely.
All right. He knows the people at the BCCI. If he
was the former secretary.
Yeah, right. If he comes out and says, "Well, we have to have a global standard," I think the BCCI will fall in line.
There's a big if there. I don't think he will because, it's in the BCCI's interest to create those tests for test championships. The only time they'll come across is, look, India as a test team is currently sitting way below. It's a massive cliff they've fallen. Yes, massive reality check. I think they're 6th or 7th on the test ladder. So for them to start winning at home, it takes a real change in mentality. So I don't think Jay Shah will. If he does, I'll be surprised. I don't think he will do it purely for the fact that he was on the other side of the table before joining this, and he was also part of games where he was part of the series where tests only lasted a couple of games, a couple of days or 3 days at best.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see if he does do it. I dare say they'll play Switzerland and say, look, we won't take any knee-jerk reactions at this stage. It's up to the host nations to make sure that the test lasts 5 days.
Right. All right. Well, and on that bombshell of a conversation about the Ashes, both the Adelaide and the Melbourne one, I just want to say thank you very much, Vinny. I mean, that was insightful. Yes, really, you went into the weeds, and I appreciate it. And I think thank you for just kind of walking us through this.
Pleasure.
And we appreciate. Definitely, I appreciate your insight into that. And yeah, so thank you very much, mate. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you about the Ashes. Likewise. Because I was looking forward to that because I wanted to. I mean, it's one thing I do enjoy it, but this man here absolutely knows how to dissect this thing inside out.
Way too much time on my hands, man.
No. Look, whatever look, I'll hand this over to you. If you have anything to say, that would be great, and that will for the viewing public, and then I'll close it off.
No, it's look. Thank you for those kind words, Martin. I think the reason why it was important to talk about this is, look, I know you and I, we discussed and we thought we'd hold off until the series, the third test was over. Just we had some more content, and we did want to catch up, and unfortunately, because of conflicting schedules at my end, I have to be honest, we thought we'd schedule in the Boxing Day. We'd wait for the Boxing Day test to start.
Yeah.
But not in our wildest dreams would we. I thought that we'd be sitting here talking about the fourth test having completed.
Yeah, I know.
At best, I thought we'd leave it to the opening day of the Boxing Day test and have something there.
Yeah.
And that was purely because of logistical reasons and poor time management, really, from my end.
Yeah.
But yet here we are sitting at 3-1, waiting for another test. So look, I think the important thing here is not just the scoreline, but the actual ripple effect that has on the commerce side of things.
God, absolutely.
Which none of us saw coming. In fact, we thought this would be the cash cow for Cricket Australia and English cricket beyond the Indian series as well.
Yeah.
The fact that we're sitting here is interesting. So look, we've got one more test to play for. I'm hazarding and guessing that's going to be a road of a track, that's going to be a batathon. But look, the fact of the matter is Australia have won the Ashes, they've retained the Ashes.
Yep.
But the repercussions of this is beyond just the facts.
There's a lot of commercial repercussions.
Absolutely.
Well, on that absolute bombshell, we're going to transition across to talking about the World Cup team that India's announced for the T20. And thank you very much.
Cheers. Good night.